broker pulling into the parking lot with their Mercedes convertible. What a beautiful car.
And I pulled into a parking lot in an old Ford Expedition, and
I have a 2011 Hyundai Sonata.
ain't nothing wrong with it.
Says go-to guy on the license plate.
Guess what mine says?
What?
Guess what mine says?
Hey, I've been doing 1 week now on the diet of hope. And this is no carbs, protein, run by physicians. And I've already lost 12 pounds and I'm feeling great, and I'm eating crap. Hard-boiled eggs.
I love hard-boiled eggs.
Well, I do
ate probably 9 of them this weekend.
Yeah, but it's like, you ever see the movie Cool Hand Luke?
I haven't.
Paul Newman? It's a classic. Go rent it. Cool Hand Luke. He eats 50 hard-boiled eggs in 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
On a chain gang. It's great acting. It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Cool Hand Luke. I'll check it out.
Yeah, Paul Newman and Arthur Kennedy, and that's where the term "shaking the bush boss man" comes from. So, how was your weekend?
It was productive.
Good.
Had Saturday they came and picked up my couch that they're returning.
Hobby, and I want to sell their house. I'll send them a picture of me in front of their house saying, swing a baseball bat, saying, "Batter up to better deals."
I like that.
Yeah.
Batter up to better. Step up to the plate.
When I was in the Yellow Pages, I had this little gal who had she sold baking supplies for people who bake their own stuff.
Right.
And so I designed an ad in the Yellow Pages, eighth of page display ad, with a baseball batter swinging the bat. And from the top says, "Batter up to better deals." I said, "Batter up to better cakes." That got her more business than you could shake a stick at.
I like it.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you at right now, Miss Eric? Underneath the carport.
Eric has a colonoscopy this morning, so I get to wait in the hospital garage.
Oh, that is so much fun.
Nobody better to do
So
than
much
hang out
fun.
with them.
So much fun. So, yes, I'm in a parking garage writing letters to clients.
How's Miss Harvey?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. What's going on, Mr. Jason? Renee's on the call. Oh, Angela's snuggling a puppy.
I am. I found a baby this weekend.
You found a baby?
She's a little tiny baby.
She's tiny baby too. What's her name?
Her name is Lily Ann, and she's very, very shy.
Oh.
Me too.
The cat already hissed at her to
Really?
make sure she knew where her place was.
So cute.
Hmm.
Who am I? The invisible man. Or invisible person.
Give it a couple of minutes. It is Monday.
They're
We
in the
get
house.
just a little bit more time to get logged in.
Did you hear it? There, evidently, some of the MLSs across the country are banning the use of the term master for master bedroom.
Primary now.
Yeah. Now, I can understand it if we said master bedroom and then slave bedroom 1, slave bedroom 2, or slave bedroom 3. But this is going
I know,
way
right?
Not to get too political, but I actually don't mind the change from master bedroom to primary bedroom. I like that.
Yeah.
But you're right. It doesn't, like, if you look at a car, there's a master cylinder and a slave cylinder. God help us if that creates a fire. And then I was at Lowe's the other day and I was thinking about this exact same situation.
Yeah.
And I went to buy a lock to put on one of my listings.
Right.
What kind of lock did I buy, Dick?
Master locks, yeah.
Mhm.
We're going,
Yeah.
I can't wait till the world settles down and we can go on with our normal life and have everybody get along.
Here's a great starting point for this Monday. It is June 29th, 2020, and the world will never go back to normal, period. And the reason I say this is because of situations like this where we're seeing them do the changes, like the world is in upheaval because of coronavirus. Then we have a massive social injustice campaign that has been long overdue. And I'll state that well, coming from my heart, I don't want to be political, but I believe that there's a lot of injustice in this world on all levels. But now the world is listening. Now people have a voice. Now we've gone from an era of social distancing and social isolation and social injustice to social reform. So the world we know it will never be the same. I, like you, Dick, am just waiting for the madness to settle. There is better ways of getting your voice heard. There's better ways of getting things out there. The problem is the people that were in charge were in charge, weren't listening.
Well, I got to speak as an older senior. I do not sleep well at night. I have to sit in my front yard and with a flashlight and like a horn, because I got that statue of myself in the front yard. I'm afraid people are going to come down and take my statue and knock it down.
Dick, you have that mankini on there, the banana print one. You're fine. They're going to stay away from it. I would advise, though, you take the tutu down because it clashes with the cowboy hat.
Hey, the tutu, that's what they call me, Tootsie.
Guys, I've heard that a bunch of times this weekend when talking to people. I just want things to go back to normal. I just want things to go back to normal. There is no normal. This is normal. This is new.
Right.
This is where you get to hedge out your business and be a better agent by adapting to the world that we live in today, the market of today, right? Every one of us, and I'm dealing with one of our agents, it happens to be, amongst us often, where an appraisal came in almost the exact dollar amount of the closing costs. I find that strange because it's happened multiple times. It's because the appraisers don't see the market that we're in. The appraisers are seeing the market that they understand. They're seeing the things of normal. And that's on us is we have those conversations and understanding as an agent of the market today, we need to know what is normal. And we need to have contingencies and plans in place so that we can help navigate these waters easier. And outside of real estate, we need to understand that people are not going to be responding the same way. They're not going to be as understanding to simple things, maybe over, caring and giving, and maybe overprotective. We may see two polarized opposites, where a seller used to be able to have a little bit of leeway and was okay and was willing to do some things to make the deal work. Now they're completely rigid, strut, nope. That's the world you live in today. Everything we do is fed from the outside. Everything we do is conditioned by what's happening in the business spectrum, is being charged by what's happening on the social realms. It's because that in our community in Tucson, we're lucky that we don't have these massive upheavals. We don't have, the riots and the protests that we had here didn't have the same level of damage, but they did spark a fear in a lot of people.
Right.
And that's daisy chaining into our deals. So the fear of civil unrest goes for multiple points. It's not only what's going to happen to me physically, am I physically in danger, economically, and spiritually. How are we economically affected by all this?
I'm saving money because I'm not going to restaurants that much. I'm doing carry out or staying home cooking food and gas keeps going down. I'm making more money. Right now, financially, I'm doing better than I have in a long time.
On the flip side, your client that owns that restaurant, how are they being affected financially?
Oh, they're hurting.
Exactly. So we got to look at it on both sides, right? What we benefit in savings because we're adjusting the way that we're doing things. Like, I love the fact that gas prices are going down. I love the fact that I don't eat out as much. I mean, I eat more garbage food than I should. I do miss going out, but I would spend $300, $500, $600 a month in going out. Like, I'm not kidding. I've gone upwards of $2,000 a month in going out. And you strip that away from my life, it's a benefit. Hell, I can afford a house now. On the other side is I'm taking $24,000 away of revenue from somebody. And if I'm just one patron, how many others are doing the same? So that's where the market's being shifted. That's what's happening on the other side. And our clients, who are business owners, who are employees, are all having this challenge. One of my agents out in Sahuarita was telling me they got a deal that was supposed to close about 20 days ago. Coronavirus attacked the process at the bank, slowed everything down. Who's dealt with that? Who's had that problem so far? Right? Banks are slow as hell for some reason. They're all working from home, but they seem to be distracted. The appraisal took way too long. So everything got pushed and didn't close on time. 20 days, right? So roughly 3 weeks. A week ago, they were supposed to close again. The buyer lost their job. Got laid off. Is this an effect of coronavirus? Absolutely. So we got affected on the closing time, and he lost his job. Had the deal closed on time, would we have had an issue? Not one, right? Now who's affected financially?
Everyone.
Big Dan. Or
You're not wrong. I mean, it's one of my agents. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's directly off of my team. But that's to go to show what's happening in the marketplace. So when we say I want the world to go back to normal, I want us to be stronger than what's happening, and I want us to have game plans in place. I'm going to share a text I got this morning as somebody says, I'm just trying to get my ammo together. And then the next text was, the ammo is you, referring to me. And I said, no, I'm not the ammo. I'm the armorer. I'm the one that gives you the tools and the weapons. You go do it. Hell yeah, Miss Harvey. Huh. United strong. And that's what this course, this is what this morning class is all about. It's a class, it's a group mind, it's a gathering of greatness. It's to get you armed up, get you, success built to go out there and handle the market of today. And everybody on this call, even little Lily Ann, is better off with the collective knowledge of all Keller Williams agents than somebody that's out there on their own thinking that the world's going to go back to normal. We've talked about this 100 times, and I love the line, and I'm going to use it forever. I'm probably going to put it on a sticker, is be extremely, and I do mean extremely, set on your success. Don't change the goal, change your approach. Change your activity. Change the things you do to get there. But don't change your life because the road ahead of you got harder. You know that happened back in the day? If you guys look at the evolution of the car, the very first cars were built with rigid suspensions and smooth tires. Why is that? Y'all think about it? They were built with rigid suspensions and smooth tires because they were meant to go in one place only. It wasn't until that road became non-traversable and difficult that we added the off-road suspension, the off-road tires, and the capabilities of going places that weren't easy. Robin got it. It just sunk in right now. I saw the big head nod. Oh. Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face, and coronavirus, the social injustices, the social unrest, the world, the economy, everything just punched us in the face. So let's work on that a little bit, because I want you guys to all be prepared to have this conversation with either your buyers or your sellers in the event that the house that they absolutely love and that you told them was a great value because you did the comps and the marketables and you know where the market's at, comes in a little bit undervalued. Who's had that conversation lately? All right, Larry, let's hear about it.
Oh, it's just the most recent house that closed, and it was just at the very touched beginning of the whole thing. But the conversation wasn't centered so much about coronavirus. The conversation was centered more about simply, the house appraising. They had owned the house for 18 years. They'd done some renovation work. They had expectations. They had had an appraisal, 8-9 months prior when they refied the house, so on and so forth. But I said, on two levels, we need the house to come in on the current market, and all of this stuff was just happening, just starting to happen. So there wasn't a lot of effect there. But B, it's also going to be what's happening with the inspections. And they did all this work to the house. So in their minds, there's nothing wrong. Well, the inspection came in with 55 items that needed attention. And, they were kind of floored by that. But prior to that coming, I still said, we still need the inspections to come through, and we're going to have to see where the dollars, what the Binzer has to say. So it was kind of in the same vein of the expectations. There could be some things here that the inspectors find, which they did, that may cost some more money. One of the things was not the subterranean termites, but the drywood termites. That meant tenting the house. That's a $3,000 process. So, they didn't have any clue that they might have, they felt that there might be subterranean. That's normal. But the drywood, that was a complete surprise to them. So there was $3,000 that they had to shift their thinking on as to we approach this thing. But I had that conversation. I said, I know you've done all this work to the house, but we still need to get through the inspections. So that's, it was the same principle, not quite from the coronavirus though. Although the other side of this is, that's why we now have a coronavirus form.
Hey, Larry?
The late delay that, that you were just talking about in your deal, Dan, and stuff like that, that literally is what the coronavirus form is for. Delays can happen, things can take longer, so on and so forth.
Hey, Larry, I've never heard of the other type of termites. So that's great information to get me. But
yeah, the drywood termites are literally in the woodwork, but they can fly. So if you have them in one section of the house, they can make, and secondly, they don't expose themselves from droppings and activity for nearly a year to 2 years. They're in, and the infestation with drywood is not detectable for a year to 2 years.
So you guys have ever had an inspection or a VA response where you have to fix water damage or fix rotted wood, exposed wood?
Yeah.
It's because of the drywood termites, because they can fly. They don't have a drill aspect like a subterranean termite. They're not able to cut through good material. However, on the split ends of something or an unfinished end, or if you see wood rot and dry rot or water damage where the wood's becoming, cracking and has gapping, that's exactly how they access a home. That's why the VA, FHA are so very keen on homes with no water damage, homes with no exposed wood rot, because those are the items that's how dry wood termites get in. And Larry's absolutely right. They fly. They don't have signs of traction. The issue is that they're a pain in the ass to get rid of. Pain in the wallet too. That's where the term pain in the ass came from. It's got to pull your wallet out usually. But yeah, good point. Who else has dealt with an appraisal issue where you've had to discuss with the buyer on their potential obligations? Larry has as well. Is Larry the only one on here working right now? Is that what's going on?
Well, yeah,
I had one. But
oh,
go ahead. Larry.
Go ahead, Hope.
No, I believe you know about mine, Big Dan. I had one, and sellers. It's a recent one. Sellers unwilling to do anything, so they put a credit towards it. So I know that's not, they knew they had to do something or felt like they should. So thankfully, they ended up going that route instead of just saying that they were going to do nothing and the other side could cancel. So
Hope's
it was about $9,100.
Yeah. Hope's talking about the inspection side of it, and we weren't. And then when the appraisal comes back, she's already had kind of an idea where the appraisal's at. We've had it done twice already. So one thing is, let's look at the options. How do we discuss our options with our buyers and sellers? What are the options in the appraisal timeframes? All right, let's start with our sellers. What's one option for our sellers in the event that the appraisal comes back light? Because we don't have to have this conversation, the appraisal comes back good or higher, right? That's just a green light moving forward, don't need to do anything about it. What happens if it comes back even $1 light? $1 or $10,000, doesn't matter, it's still light. What are the options?
The seller can pay that difference or credit that difference to the buyer.
Okay. Well, the seller can do a credit, also known as a price reduction. Okay. What else? What else is the seller able to do?
They can cancel.
Okay.
I had one where it was a pretty big difference. I'm trying to remember, maybe 9,000, and they had given seller concessions, and they're like, we can't give that many seller concessions and come down. So I had to tell my buyer, okay, you're going to get a less expensive home. Your mortgage is going to be less, but you're going to have to come in with more money up front for your closing costs, so they could meet somewhere in the middle.
And then were you the buyer's agent or seller's agent?
Buyer's agent.
You're the buyer's agent? Great. We'll talk about that in a second. But as a seller, we'll touch on that. As a seller, I want you guys to get in the mind frame of being a listing agent, because that's where people get scared. It's difficult. But no, as a listing agent, if you have concessions, if you can negotiate those out, right? I'm going to challenge Emily's that the seller cannot cancel the deal. They can just say no. Now, on the buyer side, because our contracts are extremely buyer heavy, what can a buyer do? We get the inspection back, we get the appraisal, the official appraisal report comes back, and then it triggers a 5-day window for the buyer to come up with what plan. What are they going to do? Give me some options.
They can make up the difference out of their pocket.
Out of pocket, so cash difference to the close. All right, what else? Cancel, absolutely. And when they cancel, what happens?
Earnest money gets back.
Absolutely. That's a key point right there. Buyers need to know that in the 5-day period, they have the ability to cancel and get their earnest money back. Sellers may think, well, it didn't appraise, I should keep the earnest money. No. Per the contract, this is a window where they're allowed to get their earnest money back. If you do not know your timeframes on your contract, start from the top, read through every paragraph, and create yourself your own little timeline of exactly what happens and what trigger points. It'll make you so much more profound on your contract knowledge. All right, what else can we do?
Renegotiate price.
Renegotiate terms. What's the last thing that either agent can do? That I want to absolutely be the absolute last ditch effort, period.
Negotiate.
Give up.
Commission.
A commissionectomy. I want that term, commissionectomy. It just sounds painful, doesn't it?
I can think of worse.
Yeah, I can't. Take my money away, it affects everything else in my life. But that's the thing is, when you have these things, there's tons of options to explore. We can cancel the deal, get your earnest money back, and go shopping again. And you already know where the market is right now, so it's probably going to be very difficult to find the exact house that you wanted. Because remember, it took us 10 houses before we found this one, and we got beat 4 other times, and we barely won this contract. Remember that? What are you doing? You're setting doubt in the buyer, and you're making them more agreeable to the deal. Because at this point, every buyer's like, it appraised low, the seller can handle it. It's not my responsibility, let them do it. But they forget that the challenge that took to that point, right? So case in point, $275,000 house, right? Still in that super high aggressive range, you know, between 5 or 6 offers. $6,500 in closing costs. Appraisal comes in $6,500 light. Coincidence? I don't know. Just saying. Your buyer may not have the cash to come to close. Okay. That puts us at a non-stop. So we need to know where you're at completely. What else can you do? Beg, borrow, and steal? You know, who do you know that would be willing to give you this money, gift it to you, so that you could close on this house? And we can pay the difference. We can buy the difference, right? These are some conversations we need to be creative about. I want you to think that every time we had a dead stop, pull yourself out of the situation and say, am I done? Is this all that I can do? What can we do now? What's next?
Create a GoFundMe page on Facebook.
That's one option. That's a gift. Just saying.
Yeah.
But the most important thing as an agent you need to do, and this goes for any part of any contract at any time, is communicate with the other agent.
That's true.
As soon as you know that there's going to be a roadblock, guess what? What do you need to do? Amber did it. She pick up the phone. Have a conversation. Because nothing's going to get solved unilaterally. Except for canceling of the contract. And then who's affected financially? Everybody. And if you're the listing agent, you're out cash. You're out expense on the photos, the marketing, the signs, the time and effort. As the buyer's agent, you're out the gas. You're out the exposure to the world. You're out the family time because you're showing houses at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday and you're not sitting by the pool with your kids. Are you willing to let that happen? So we need to work on all ends to get this done, and it all starts with picking up the phone, calling the other agent. How's that conversation look? Who wants to call me? I'm the other agent. I'll be the buyer's agent. You be the seller's agent. Amber, go ahead. Give it a shot.
Ring.
Thanks for calling Keller Williams Southern Arizona. It's Big Dan.
Hey, Big Dan. It's Amber from Keller Williams.
Hey, Amber, how are you?
Good, good. Hey, I know. Wait, you're the buyers, right? So I see that the appraisal is lower than what was actually negotiated in the contract. How are your buyers doing, and where are they at? Have you talked to them?
I mentioned to them. I know they got the email back from the lenders, and then when we forwarded it over to you, it looks like it's about $6,500 shy, and they really don't have the money. Like that's just going to be, it's going to be tough. What's your seller willing to do? Are they going to reduce the price?
Well, I haven't talked to my seller yet. That's why I'm reaching out to you before I engage my seller. My seller, yeah, we've had that discussion previously about, in the event it doesn't come up to appraised value, that we'll have to, go back, look at everything, look at his, financials and stuff like that. But I just wanted to kind of call and gauge where you're at. So when I have a conversation with my seller, I can kind of, have some options for him in order to make this go to close.
Okay, great.
So you said
Remember the question I texted you this morning. Oh, sorry, coughing. My bad. Whew, allergies.
How do we get this to work for both our clients?
Oh, well, you know what? Let me see. I think my buyers might be able to have, come up with some money that we can do something.
Would your buyer, do you think your buyer would, I know you said cash is limited, but would your buyer, if, you know, if my seller came halfway, do you think your buyer can come up with $3,000?
You know, I'm not sure. Let me ask. Let me see what I can find out for you, and I'll get back to you, and we'll work on this together, okay?
Okay, awesome. Well, just let me know soonest so I can, and then I'll talk to my seller as well as you're talking to your buyer. And maybe when we come back, we have a game plan to see this to close.
Perfect. What was the key point in that whole conversation, guys?
Gonna work
Not to be-
together.
Go ahead, Larry.
I say not to be too much of a stickler here, but the statement, I haven't talked to my client yet, even though the information given is when you know that the appraisal comes in short, the first thing you're going to do is call your client and find out where they're at, so that when you do call the other side, you do have some idea of where you're going. As I, that to me, that struck me as odd. I'm not trying to be hard on you there, Amber. It's just that, that's the first thing I want to do is talk to my client.
So my thing with that is because I know my clients inside and out when I talk to them, and I will talk to the other agent knowing where my client might want to go, but I want to know the conversation I've had with the other agent before I talk to my sellers. That's why. And I advised her about that because I know her clients. And we want to make sure we have that. But the thing is the question is, how do we work together for, essentially it's a win-win, right? How do we make this a win-win? It's that impactful question. It's not a why, which is, it's not a what, which is an it's a how, which is How do we work together to make this work for both of our clients? Because at this point, you're going to see some adversary. You're going to see, if you have not had a good conversation with your client, your cooperating agent, that's what it says in the contract, right? The cooperating broker. Y'all are cooperating, not adversarial. You're kumbaya. If you have not had that line of communication, this is a good time to start building some relationships, have some rapport. You need to have the same level of rapport with the other agent that you do with your client. But I want you guys to all remember that question, right? How do we make this a win-win? It's the first thing on our Y4C2Ts. Win-win or no deal, right? How, which incites the brain to start thinking and process, how do we, you and I, work together to make this a win-win, or to make this work for both of our clients?
Dan, I would also say, when you're talking to the other agent, create a couple different options that we could be talking about, and the last one being, well, is it possible for us to split between the agents for the, with the commission? Make that the last one, because that will also motivate the other agent to try to sell the other ones.
So I've done this, and it hurts. Like I said, I don't feel that a commissionectomy is ever a choice.
No.
It's a last resort.
Agreed.
It's I am at the bottom. I have become flesh wound. They've cut my arms and my legs off. The last thing I've got is my head, and I'm still talking trash. And then all of a sudden, I got to throw it out there. To keep this deal alive, you and I can do this to make it work. And 1% off doesn't seem like a whole lot. But we on this specific deal, we happen to be 2.3% away, right? So 1% on either side, a little cut. Like if the buyers give $3,000, the seller gives $3,000, guess what? We got kind of ourselves a deal a little closer, right? In your heart of hearts, who do you think is responsible for making this deal work? You're on mute, Larry.
Both agents.
Okay. So it's our responsibility to reach in our pocketbooks and pay the difference.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Both clients.
It is our jobs to advise. It is our jobs to deliver the result. That's what it's the frame of mind. I want you guys to, I talked to an agent yesterday, was it yesterday? I don't know, it was a long weekend. writing a contract and asked about a $900 HOA fee. And she said, well, I wonder if I can just pay it myself. Ooh, let me tell you, that sparked something in my soul. Hell no. Is it your house? Is it your payment? Is it your responsibility to be financially tied to it on the outgo? Is it fair to you? Is it a win-win? You guys get highly compensated because you are highly official. Well, that's not the word I'm looking for. You're highly compensated because what you do is important.
You're highly talented.
You're extremely talented. Y'all passed the state licensing board. Y'all took the test and you passed it.
We are essential.
You are essential. But I want you guys to, like, that's the last resort is cutting your paycheck to make it work. And if that's the result, if you need to cut your paycheck and the seller's agent and the buyer's agent need to put in some, guess what? You need to be asking from your clients to do the same. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, if you put in $1,500, I will gift part of my commission towards your closing cost and help you out with that. The seller's going to do the same thing, and the seller's agent's going to do the same thing, because we're going to bring this deal together for everyone has a win-win. Because if everybody's throwing in $1,500 in the pot, guess what? It's a lot better than you taking a 1% cut off the top. But that's last resort. I want you to call the other agents, have that conversation. Now, we're going to go a little bit long on this. We already have, but I want you guys to say, on the other side of it, have your evidence in place. Comps pulled together, all your resource material, all the effective information you have to give yourself the best chance of having a high appraised value. And as soon as you know the appraisal is happening, make sure that information is there for them. Either print it out, leave it on the countertop, or email it to them if you can. Very highly unlikely you know their email beforehand. But that way you can send the information and help you out. In this situation, we knew we were, batting heavy. We're tracing the market, but in the event that you're up against the wall and you need to have those conversations, I want you to open up the lines of communication. Think of how questions, because they're higher in the lane, right? Who, how, what, why? How do we make this work together? How do we make this work together? Have those conversations. If you want to talk to your clients first and get their input and their buy-in, and then just act dumb to the agent, great. It's up to you. But do not, and I say this, do not break your fiduciary responsibility in having a conversation with the other agents. What puts your client at a weaker negotiating point. And it could be as simple as, well, they've got the money. Oof. I hear that in conversation. Oof. I take notes. Because you pull those notes back up and have a conversation. Well, you said on April 3rd, when we first did this deal, that your clients had the cash in the bank, but they're just trying not to spend it, but they're trying to roll it into the loan. What you say now could be used against you in the court of negotiations.
Yeah.
So, guys, I want you to go out there and attack today. Remember, you are in the market of today. You need to be the agent of tomorrow. Go kill it. And everyone say goodbye to Miss Lillian. Bye, Lillian.
Bye.
Sweet puppy.
He's like, I'm sleeping.
If you have time at 9 o'clock, I do believe everyone got an email from, maybe it's just me, I don't know. There's supposed to be some kind of Gary call. I'm confronting reality.
No, we did not get that email.
I would say, I think that's just you, big man.
I don't know. I literally have nine things lined up between now and 11 o'clock.
Oh my God.
Nice.
And Keller Williams International is just like, here's a call at 11. Here's a call at 11. Here's a call. Guys, it can't be on all three. Come on, calm down. So I just want you to be part of the awesomeness.
Prioritize.
Every Monday, we are doing the PC group call. So even if you're not in the PC program, you want to join our group call at 2:30, you're more than welcome to. Link is on our KWSA website. If you guys need me, call me, text me, email me. Other than that, have a blessed Monday. And somebody help me come up with a new way of saying I'm feeling good in the mornings. We've gone through, I'm doing better than a cheetah in a foot race, and I'm feeling better than a hippo in a mud puddle. I need something new. Let's see how creative you are.
I'm fit and fabulous.
Yeah, but that's a lie. I am definitely not fit. I am kind of fabulous. Awesome, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.